G'day, I'm Robert Dwyer, the member for Port Macquarie. I'm out and about in the electorate, and I'm out with Tim Bale on his farm in Hannam Vale, just trying to find out what's important for him and what matters in the electorate for our farmers. Tim, can you help us out on what the important factors are for farmers in the Port Macquarie electorate?
Yeah, well, I think it's important for everyone to realise that the area here is still a very important dairy area, and there's over 100 farms from Kempsey to Gloucester, basically, still supplying a lot of milk. A lot of our milk even goes north to Brisbane now, and it's still an important industry. We have like a fourfold effect of the farm income on the community. So if a farm turns over $1 million, that can mean $4 million to the community.
In transport and wages.
Wages, all that sort of stuff. So that's important. We spend, the other thing is farmers spend all their money, locally pretty well. But yeah, we need, I think, support from government in terms of, and we have had that in the past in terms of the mandatory code, that we're dealing with multinational companies now that are not necessarily Australian. We need help to do that. We need different facilities legally to be able to, negotiate with those sort of companies. And then there's disasters. We need help from disasters because it's not about just helping the individual farm. To me, it's about national food security. You keep a farm going. You're keeping it there for generations. We're only really custodians of the land, and we own it for a short time. Someone else hopefully will take it on.
Yeah. And the government's got to understand it's an investment in the future of the whole of Australia, not even just this electorate.
That's right. Well, it's only if there's a bit over 100 farms in that area here in the mid coast, there's only just over 400 farms in New South Wales. So we are an important area, and we are an area too that is clean, green, mostly rain-induced, pasture-fed cattle that people like. So your true traditional sort of dairy farms. We're not big feedlotters and all this sort of stuff, corporate farms. We're all pretty much family farms. It's important to see that as a future too. Where are we going to get product from? If these farms don't keep going, it's not an easy life on a dairy farm, but it can be a great life, and it's a great, place to bring up kids outside in the open, and then teach values about work, and what work is, and to have that work ethic. That's something that farm kids have an advantage, I think, over a lot of people is that work ethic they get. Probably from being forced hard labour when they're kids. Anyway.
And the other thing, Tim, is often you see in the media, it feels like farmers cop a bit of flack from the environmental lobbyist group, saying that it's not good in the environment. But my understanding is that farmers need to put as much into the environment as they can because that is their livelihood.
Yep. To me, that is rubbish because, again, farmers are custodians of the land. Who's going to look after, we look after the riverbanks here. We look after, I have 6 kilometres of river frontage here, some of it double frontage. We look after that. We look after weeds. We don't spread fertiliser in the river and all that sort of stuff. You've only got to look at the difference at a farm and someone next door who might have done nothing to see what they're doing to look after the land. And
because without a good environment, that is their future.
That's right. Farmers love the land. Farmers really do love the land, and that's what we do. And sometimes if there's things that happen that need fixing, sometimes the farmer can't afford to do that.
Very grateful, Tim, for your time today to give us some appreciation of what is important for the Port Macquarie electorate and particularly for our farmers. It's been great spending a bit of time with you, and I look forward to catching up again in the not too distant future.
Thanks, Rob. I think it's really great to see you having that interest outside, the main towns and everything like that, because it's all about the region, not just about our cities and towns. And showing people what the region is really important. Thanks.
No, you're welcome, Tim.